on, y'all? It's Angel. Angel's online. We got the season 2 recap. We about to bring some people out that was on season 2. I'm gonna start with everybody. Oh, Jesus Christ. What's going on, good people? Boy, today is a day. Good people, good people. We gonna start it running like that, all right? Lord Jesus, you know we live. My God, my God. It's been a long day. We have on the line with us, we have Determined Marie. Determined Marie, can you say something?
Determined Marie on the line coming at you. Shout out, good people, good people.
Okay. We got Anton on the line. Go
What
ahead,
up, what
Anton.
up, what up? It's another great day in paradise. Gotta love it to live it.
There it is. And we got Corey. Talk to me.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing today? Where the monsters at?
There it is. And right here with me in the studio to my right, we have Tony. Tony, talk to him.
What's up?
There it is. We got Elena over here. Talk to him.
Good people, good people. What's up?
We got Dante, a.k.a. Dr. Carr, in the building. What's up? Go say something to the people, man.
What's going on?
And of course, you have me, Angel, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing a season 2 recap right now. We're going to talk about the season 2 episodes that we had. We're going to find out what episodes each individuals participated on. We're going to talk about how it impacted them, what they saw post-episode in life that they can go back on and utilize the episode as an example as to why the Angels Online exists right now. We'll also discuss current events that are going on in society right now that focus on life circumstances that hit everyone. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to run down the episodes for you people. Episode 1, communication. 2 was teen pregnancy. 3 was sexual assault. 4 was a single parent. 5 was bullying. 6 was peer pressure. 7 was the fatherless child. 8 was LGBTQ. And 9, youth mental health. Now, we're going to start with those on the line. Anton, tell me what episode did you participate in on Angels Online?
So the fatherless. So
Okay. Determined Marie, can you tell me what episode you were on?
I participated in teen pregnancy.
Teen pregnancy, correct. Anton, wait a minute. I believe you were on the single parent. And the
I should have been on the fatherless child episode too.
Yes. Look at that. And then Corey, what episode did you participate in?
I was on the single parent episode.
The single parent episode. Episode 4. All right. Tony, what episode were you on, son?
Youth mental health.
Youth mental health, episode 9. Elena was not on an episode. She is a special guest in here today for other things that we were discussing, but she will also discuss the episodes as well as she has been looking at them. Dante, what episode were you on?
I was on one. Single parent, bullying, peer pressure, fatherless child. I think I was there.
Yeah.
LGBT and youth mental health.
There it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to open it up. And my name is Angel, and I was on every episode, as we all know. I mean, make sure y'all use these bells and use it. I am Angel, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know we're going to have a good time. We're going to talk about it. We're going to be about it. We're going to make some shape. Now, my question is to everyone, did you feel heard? How did the episode that you were on impact you? And we're going to start with this young man over here to my right. Tony, how did your youth mental health episode that you chose, how did you feel after that episode?
I felt more open, I guess.
More open?
Yeah.
Safe space? Now you're more open?
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Dante, how do you feel about the episodes you were on, post episodes and the Angels Online?
Oh my God. You mean holistically, like in a group?
However you want to put it, sir. We got to get the people what they want.
You occupied a lot of my time with all these episodes, so to give a one answer would be very, very difficult to do. No, but I don't know. I feel that I feel that I offered pretty good insight, both clinically and from experience, to most of these issues. I feel that most people on those episodes did learn something. Mm-hmm. I think they came, or left rather, with different perspective and answers to questions that they came with. I'm trying to be serious today.
You know what? That's a good answer. You got to get the people what they want. Anton.
Very good.
Elena said she was
Very good,
convinced.
very good.
Anton, tell me about your episode. How did it affect you post-episode, sir?
Yo, so I was on a single parent episode, and I have to say, it gave me a great time to reflect on not myself, but also the situation that a lot of people don't get to see from a single father's perspective. I definitely felt like I was heard, and I definitely felt like I was speaking to a lot of men who were in a situation similar to me. So it was a great episode.
Thank you. Corey, what about you?
Similar to what Anton said, I was also on the single parent episode. I feel like it's a topic that doesn't get discussed a lot. Like shined on it, not so much of the struggles that us single dads go through, but I feel like it's some kind of insight to maybe the up and coming parents, or maybe even the parents who haven't decided to conceive a child yet, but they could have a chance to any type of foreshadowing or any type of advice. I feel like the episode really shined a lot of light on what we go through on a daily basis, being single parents.
Not only that, both of you are single fathers. You know,
Yeah, single father.
and that's amazing, actually, because, I don't think the men who are single fathers get a lot of credit sometimes, So I commend both of you, men, for being on that episode, opening yourself up to the people of the world, opening yourself up to the youth and these young men out here who want to become up-and-coming parents and think it's just a game. But it's not a game, because then we start a whole stigmatism where these kids are single-parent households. So thank you for that. Determined Marie, teen pregnancy. Tell me where you heard. How did you feel about your episode, post-episode?
After doing the episode, I felt like I was an advocate for many young men and women out who were teen parents, and I'm just happy that I had a voice for others to hear.
Amen. Thank you. Welcome to the Angels Online, ladies and gentlemen. Voice of the unheard. You got to get up people what they want. Good people. We're going to run it down, and we're going to talk about these episodes, how you saw examples of these episodes in life, what you're looking at, and we're going to start with communication. What did you see in life even after the episode of the Angels Online about communication? That was episode 1. In the workplace, in a school, Tony, in a school, with your teachers. We're going to include everybody who you deal with on a daily basis. Communication, I don't care who we start with. We rolling with it, open dialogue. Let's talk about it. Elena, communication. Let's talk about communication, y'all.
All right. Well, for me, growing up, my communication was very low because a lot of people didn't, hear me. Nobody wanted to talk to me. I would say my parents, I felt ignored.
Okay.
Shut down a lot. So me communicating now is me giving my kids now that opportunity to speak freely and communicate with me so that we are on the same page.
That's what we about, giving the kids the information now, juvenile awareness, so we can make these juveniles aware, and also now further make these parents aware who are not, or who fail to want to listen. You got to do it, because this is our future. Somebody's going to be sitting in my seat in 25 years. It might be this young man. Who knows? But at least he can say, you know what? I learned about that when I was 15. I was on the Angels Online, because we didn't have all this back then. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else want to talk about communication, what you've dealt with, what you've heard, what you've seen in regards to communication in the workplace?
I feel like you're looking at me because you want me to talk.
Oh, no, you're just in front of me.
Oh, no, not necessarily in the workplace, because I run it, right? I'm
Right.
the boss, so I don't.
Come
people
on.
want to listen when I talk. But in my personal life, with regards to communication, I always feel like I'm perfect, right? But I know an area that I lack in is expressing myself, right? Because I feel like so often I just talk and then people listen and do what I say. But when it's a different type of communication when you're expressing what you feel, right?
Come on.
Because you open yourself up to it's bilateral.
Come
you
on.
Tell them how you feel. You expect a response. So
Transparency.
I've been trying to get better on expressing the things that make me mad, right? Make me sad.
That's a good one.
And then in turn also make me happy, right? So it's very difficult to do that. I find myself having to convince myself to do it, like check myself, so to speak. So like if I feel myself getting upset, whereas my natural reaction would be to just, say F
say
it,
whatever, right?
right, and just shut down and pursue the silent treatment. But I'd be like, you know what? Come on, doc. Express that. This person don't deserve that, because what happens is, I don't have kids, but I know that as parents, like, we like to do the silent treatment, and I know how clinically how a child receives that. So there's implications that come along with that, but I won't get into that. But I'm trying to be more vocal in expressing the things that piss me off, right? Or make me happy. So to speak.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. I'll go last. Anybody on the line? Anybody on the line? No communication? Y'all okay? Tony, talk to me. How's communication? How's it looking for you?
Good.
It's good? Talking to Mike, sweetheart. There you go.
It's good. I mostly communicate with my mom.
Okay.
So I don't have any communication with problems with my mom. We understand each other. We know what we're saying.
How's it in the school and teachers?
They understand.
Good.
They know. They mostly look around like how we behave. They're not really into like if we're really like, how can I say, like socializing with everybody else, because people have different friend groups. Some people don't have same classmates and stuff like that. But overall, it's good.
Good. Communication, I deal with it 24/7, 7 days a week, all day. Everything that I do is communication, whether it's at the work or the Angels Online. My job is to communicate. And what I try to do a lot of times is listen, because that's what I advocate for, a voice of the unheard. So that's one thing I try to do better. And even in all my relationships, everybody you deal with is a relationship. And if you don't understand what a relationship is, I need you to look it up, because it's imperative to know what it is. And every relationship, the communication will be different, and the vibes will be different, And so my job is to make sure I understand the relationship that I have with that individual in particular, so that way I can communicate effectively with them, and that they can understand me and I understand them. I want to receive their message. I want to listen to it and not just listen to respond. I want to listen to digest what they're saying and understand it before I respond, And so that's a big thing in the workplace and everything. And when I'm talking to kids, I want to hear what you have to say. They have something to say. They may not be able to articulate it like him, because they need about 5 more years, or like you, you know what I mean? But I know what they're saying. I can take what they're telling me and put it in adult terms and say, this is what they're trying to say. And they need to be heard. And I'm going to acknowledge that. So that's important. Teen pregnancy. Let's talk about teen pregnancy episode. That's Determined Marie. Has anybody seen it occur, or post episode, has anybody seen a teen mom? Okay. You're in high school. Talk to us. Talk to us on the mic, baby.
So for teen pregnancy, I have, like, on my dad's side, most of my cousins got pregnant by the time they're like 16, 17.
Oh, okay.
So they don't like mess with their mom and dad anymore. Like, it's completely just them, their kid, and their partner, whoever they're with. And it's just like they're doing everything by themselves. I'm not in contact with my cousins, but I do every once in a while do see them. And I can tell they kind of go through a struggle. I can just tell by the face expression. And it's like, if you had help being a teen that's pregnant, it would be different. Like, you get help, it would be easier for you to, like, you could go back to school instead of, like, dropping out.
Right.
It would be easier to work hours to provide for yourself and the family that you have at the moment. And yeah.
So tell me this, as a young man, as a young teen man, does that help you realize that how the stipulations would be and would change if you were to get a female pregnant?
Yeah.
If you were to become a teen father? So you're learning from, are you learning from those examples that you're seeing?
Yes.
Okay, that's wonderful. Wonderful. Anybody on the line? Corey, have you seen some teen parents? Have you experienced it or anything?
Teen parenting, not so much. I can't say that. Okay. I can say that I've seen. I don't feel like fully mature parents.
Come on.
I don't know if that can I categorize as teen parenting.
Hey, listen, open dialogue, and so their mentality is teen parent like, right? Is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'll take that, Angel, and I'll run with it. And
Right.
I'll even say that the things or the entertainment that they find to do with their time, they try to roll it over with being a parent as well, but the two don't mash.
Come on, I
Like,
understand it.
like, and see, I don't know, and I say this. Look, to get a little deeper into it, all that, like when you're a teenager, you don't fully understand the responsibilities, or you don't fully understand the consequences of your actions. Like, say, all right, you got a job, want to go out on the weekend, make sure you spend the money on the weekend. That's fine.
Corey,
Now, out of eight,
check your phone for me. Make sure your phone is good to go. It's kind of cutting. It's kind of choppy.
let me see.
While he's checking that, I'll go.
Go ahead.
I'll start by.
We back on?
I can hear
Go
you.
ahead, Anton. You could cut in. I was just saying, like, the party lifestyle or the entertainment, how you find entertainment for yourself when you're younger or when you're in your 20s. We'll even go as far as that, but the mentality is for yourself more so. Responsibility of adding a child into that equation. Like, you can't go do all the stuff that you wanted to do, even if it's something minor, like just hanging out with the boys or something. You can't do that. I mean, you can, but it won't be the same once you add a child into that equation and once you become a parent.
I got you. Thank you. Dante was about to chime in. Go ahead, Dr. Carr.
Yeah, I was going to speak to the situation that you and I both encountered.
Yes. Come on, let's talk
You know,
about it.
when the young lady was determined to sign up.
So, good people. You know what? Do that.
Do you want to speak? Okay, I'll go.
okay. I can if you want me to.
No, we can both go.
go
So
ahead.
I joined you right at
Right.
an event at Confluence
Yeah.
Academy. We were promoting the program.
Yeah.
Teen pregnancy was one of the things that was advertised and discussed there with the young lady, right?
Yeah.
And she approached the table,
Right.
with the in a peculiar form,
Correct.
so to speak.
Very much so.
Yeah, no, heavy on it. And we asked her, well, the suggestion and observation was
Yes.
made that her stomach was protruding a little bit further out than
The norm.
the norms, right? So naturally, the question would be posed, "Hey, young lady, right? Are you pregnant or whatever?" And she said,
No.
"Right."
And immediately I said, "Oh, no problem. Well, we have this program that we're trying to start, you know, and you know, we discussed teen, we discussed pregnancy, I sign up
Immediately.
immediately.
So I'll
Let
sign
us
up.
know that she was interested in whatever help that she can get. She was interested in whatever knowledge, skills, abilities, whatever we could bring to the table. She was ready for it.
Okay.
You know, so you know what because once she said no, we said, okay, no problem. Well, this is what we're offering. Here's further information because it's for any and everybody. We're going to prepare you like we're preparing Tony. I'll sign up. You know, so we just, you know, it worked out that way. But we witnessed it. This is
But it just
post-episode.
speaks to the stigma of she was obviously too embarrassed to admit the fact
Correct.
that she's pregnant, despite the obvious signs.
So she was.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh yes.
But who knows before we got there how she was talked about,
That goes
you know,
back to that
how
communication.
her house, her structure at home is she being judged, you know, all these things that create someone to shut down, that cause someone to shut down, you know, and so that's why, you know, we have a safe space. Anton or Determined Marie, do you have anything? Give you a few seconds. It looks like there's a delay on our phone system, so I'm gonna wait a couple seconds for you.
Hey, I'm here. Are we still talking about the communication topic, or are we switching up?
We switched to teen pregnancy, but I don't think you got any examples of seeing any teen pregnant people?
Yeah, I've seen that consistently. You know, in our culture, teen pregnancy is a big thing. It's almost considered a norm at this point because our culture is so hypersexualized. So I think the biggest thing now is education towards it, making sure that the young ladies and the young men make the right decisions now. And I love the fact that you had the episode because you can be a voice of information at the minimum to, you know, to teach those struggles, to teach those different situations being exposed helps one child to make a better decision is a great deal. So yeah, I think education on everything is much better. I think as a culture we have to stop hypersexualizing our children.
Come on, somebody better talk to me. Determine Marie. Oh, we got a delay. We gonna wait a couple seconds.
By me being a single teenage pregnant mom, I made sure that my children didn't become a part of that environment. So none of my children were really teens when they had their children, which only 2 of them have children. But I say that to say that I'm proud of the outcome. I raised all 3 of them as a single parent. And I just feel like Anton said it has become the norm, but it needs to be talked about and not ignored.
Mm-hmm. Come on, let's talk about it.
They should not be scrutinized. They're still human because people make mistakes. I just think they're unaware of contraception and the struggles because their families don't talk to them about it. So I just feel like it's something in all communities, not just in the African American society, but all societies, ages, backgrounds.
That's it.
Income doesn't play a part in it. Ignorance plays a part in it because they do not know. So if we teach our children better to do better.
Correct. I said in a room last night, I was on a
panel. Teach them to do better, they'll know better, and they'll be able to make better decisions.
Right.
That's my viewpoint on that topic right there.
Thank you.
She's spot on. She's spot on. I was at Washington University last night. I sat on a panel to discuss sexual health and the stigma around sex period. So do you know, first of all, myself and the St. Louis Health Department director were the only African Americans there. The room was filled. It was like 120 some people there, all young white kids, right? Talking about how, the older people, right, on the panel were discussing that this position was our society, like the young man said, is over sexualized. And then the young people was like, no, you are saying that as an excuse to not discuss it, which is sending us out into the world ignorant of all things created or all things concerning sexual behavior, both healthy sexual behavior and activities and, the risk factors associated with those. So I think the discussion definitely needs to take place. I know growing up, in a church household, you were taught to not have sex before marriage or whatever, but that's not reality. These kids out here smashing.
Come on.
So you need to make them aware of the consequences, or if they're going to do it, the healthy decisions around it, like, to prevent all the things that they showed us when we were growing up, all those pictures, those scare tactics they use, that doesn't work anymore. You have to teach these kids, like, this is the risk factor if you do it irresponsibly, but this is also what happens if you do it responsibly. It's like, it's an activity. Sex is a recreational activity.
Come on.
And it's also used to have kids, right? So you can't just make it seem like, oh, it's a bad thing and we shouldn't talk about it, we shouldn't discuss it because it's only reserved for adults who want to have kids. No, ma'am. Heavy on the note. These were 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old college students who's like, no, we're very active. We're responsible in our activity, but we're very active. And our parents never told us about it. We had to learn from our peers.
Come on.
From movies. You know what I'm saying? The internet. No. We need to equip our kids ourselves.
That part. So
they go out and make responsible decisions. And instead of, and not to speak down on this, end up as a teen, with a child. I mean, that's a result of I don't say ill preparedness because I don't want to speak holistically to the situation, but we need to prepare like our young people before we send them out so they don't necessarily come or be a part of this situation. So.
Come on. And like she said, if you know better, you'll do better.
Yeah.
How can you get mad at a child who became a teen mom or a teen father when you refuse to address it and acknowledge it and have a conversation with them?
Yeah.
Normalize a conversation in the household. That's what we talking about.
Yeah.
Give them the tools and the information that they need now so they're successful later on. And if they do become a teen parent, guess what? They already know what the heck they getting ready and getting into because you already told them.
A decision was made.
If I'm giving you the information now, it is now your responsibility. You have to take accountability for your actions.
That's it.
That's it. That's all.
That's it.
If you ready to lay down, have fun, because he said it's a recreation.
It's a recreation.
I'm not having no kids.
Well, yes.
I'm having recreational activity. Okay? I don't have no kids.
Very.
It definitely is.
I mean, come on.
I mean, wait, I don't want to. Let's move on.
We digress. We'll move on.
Let's move on.
We'll move on. Now let's talk about we'll go back because Determined Marie mentioned this, how she was a single parent. The single parenting. That episode right there, that and the fatherless child episode, we can go with it all together. You know what I mean? Because I'm looking every day at kids ages 5 through 10, 5 through 9, who are either a single parent household or a fatherless child. And these are little kids. And it affects them. The single parent, these mothers, they struggling. Because a lot of times it is the mother. Rarely is it the father, which is why I commended these two men with us right now. Because these single parents, let's think about your child want to be active, right? Sports, band, dance, all these things. But you got to go to work, right? In the morning, they go to school. You get out of school, now you got to take these kids to practice. But wait, you also have to prepare dinner for the other kids who are not in these extracurricular activities. You also have to provide transportation. That you might not have. So now you have to create connections with the people that play on the team as well. And it takes a village.
If it gets that far.
If it gets that far, because that's if the parent doesn't give up and be like, listen, I ain't going to be able to do it.
Correct.
I can't afford to do it.
Yep.
I ain't got no ride. I ain't got no help. Where your daddy at? This is life. And these single parents, and let's hope the single parent ain't a drug addict. Let's hope the single parent's not a drug addict, and then it goes on to the kid. So then when the kid go to school, this single parent, the kid get in trouble at school. I can't come pick him up. I can't come get him. We got 1,600 kids in this school, ma'am. We need you to come pick him up. But you can't pick him up, but you're not providing that structure at home, and you want to do your own extracurricular activities and send this kid to school like this is our responsibility to raise him. No, it takes a village. We will help raise him because we're here to teach him. That's what school's about. Look here. Go ahead. Somebody can chime in on a single parent. Talk to me, fellas. Anton, I want to start with you.
Yeah, let me. I was coming for you. You already know I was right here.
I'm ready for you, baby. Come on.
On the tip.
I like the men.
So
I like
the
to
reason-
give these men a platform, baby. Come on.
The reason I love tapping in on that episode is, like you stated before, a lot of the times, 89% of the time, it's the women who are keeping the men out of the situation for one reason or another. But I think what we need to teach our culture for sure is that the dynamic of a father and a mother to the child is needed. Both parents are always needed. There's so much that you can get from your father and so much you can get from a mother that most people don't seem to understand. It's like almost psychological what they absorb from us. I can use a prime example. I was just talking to a young lady, and we were talking about children, and she let her son go live with her father, and a lot of people were shunning her for that. And she said that she realized at 8 years old, he's about to be developing, and he's growing faster than I was expecting. So he's about to start becoming a man, and there's lessons and there's energy that I can't teach him. She said she tried to intimidate her son, and he's almost as tall as her, so, he looked at her like she was crazy. And that level of intimidation alone, every boy knows this, and every man can tell you to this day, there's always that intimidation when it comes from a boy to a man. There's a level of intimidation that a woman will never be able to possess. My sons will never, ever, ever try me because I have that. Because I'm a male. That's it. They will try their mother all day long. But because I am a male, there's a window there. There's a ceiling that we use that to prevent them from going out into the world and being something else and going out to the world and being horrible. A lot of women try. I give all my black women and any women in general, I give them credit for being single women and being single mothers. But they have to understand that you can't keep the father away because there's going to be that ceiling in which they can break through with a woman, but they cannot break through with a male because there's a level of intimidation, there's a level of energy that we provide to a child that will always keep a child in check. And I preach about it, but I want more women to, if you can't involve the father, then involve positive male role models. Because to be a single mother is tough as hell. I grew up with them, but I saw it. And luckily, I tell my mother all day, I love you. You did a great job keeping me alive. But the men who you put around me are the reason I'm the man I am today. There were basketball coaches in place. There were uncles in place. There were other positive male influences in place to make me the man who I am. It wasn't my mother. She couldn't raise me to be a man, but she at least put me around enough men to where I could see what a man looked like, and I could absorb that. So I tell all single mothers, find a good positive man role model. I think I even spoke about this in the episode. So I'll leave it with that.
I love it. I love it. I freaking love it.
It's heavy.
Heavy. And top tier communication right there that you just gave the world. You just gave the people. Because you got to give the people what they want. And you know what? When we say if a man can't be there, it could be incarceration. It could be they want to choose the streets. They don't want to make that change when they have kids. They want to take that other way out. You know what I'm saying? But put a man in their life. He didn't exempt men. He didn't just say. He said if the father can't be there for some reason, because there are many reasons. Domestic violence. Let's talk about it. All these reasons that men can't be around. Oh, because they can't be with the woman, so they like, okay, to hell with these kids, and they want to go raise somebody else's kids, get another woman. Okay, that's fine. Understand what you're putting on your child though, and they start self-blaming because they're kids and they don't understand how to accept that when they see you dealing with somebody else. And again, I remind you that season 2 was brought to you by the youth because a young lady said that. She said, "My father left, but I don't know where he is, but I saw him on Facebook with his new family and they have kids my age. I don't know what I can do or whatever, but a little girl's crying for her daddy, low key, but she expressed it to Angel. And I heard it. So you know what? We have the fatherless child episode. Thank you to her and a couple other youth. Boys that said they were becoming men and they don't know what to do in certain situations and circumstances. And so it's very important.
Just because they can't relate to it.
Right. It's important to keep these positive men around. Luckily for me, I have positive men in my life. You know what I'm saying? That I had, even growing up, even though my dad was in prison, I had positive men in my life. Because as a young lady, I need men in my life. I need to know how I need to be treated. You gonna respect Angel. Because I'm going to call them and they gonna say, wait a minute, huh? They gonna be looking like, what? And that's so important, Anton. Thank you for your response. Does anybody else want to chime in on a single parent? Elena, what's up? Do you have something for the
single mom over here? Hey.
Come on here.
Come on.
All right, 4 children.
Come on.
One of the fathers is incarcerated, but I promise he's active. I don't know
on.
how he pulling this off, but it's the village.
Come on.
If it's not uncle, it's grandpa. If it's not grandpa, it's the basketball coach. And I make sure that I hold him accountable and make sure that he holds himself accountable when he's just, feeling himself.
Come on.
But baby,
come on.
Let me tell y'all.
Preach to us now. We here for it. Give us what we want, good people.
2 of my children have the same father, and they are going through exactly what you just said, acting out because we just separated. And of course we don't notice it, but I just want to put out there for everybody who is just ending a relationship to make sure that you all still show your kids that you can still play the get along.
Come on.
If you just show them just that much, that, okay, while we're around, we're cordial. Now, you can hate me tomorrow, dislike me whenever, but make sure that you all are on one accord when it comes to your kids. Stop allowing these men to be missing out because you're upset with them. Allow them to be in because you can't play both sides. This is I hate to see this, but I see it a lot. You want to play victim, but you want that man around at the same time.
Pay for this, pay for that.
I want you to pay for all these, but you can't see your baby.
You ain't doing.
I want you to come get them when I want you to,
Terrible.
but when you need them, I'm not giving them to you. Like, come on, this is for the men and the women.
Come on.
Let me see. My other one, okay, see, I got one of them fathers, but he may not be as active as he would like to. But I still make sure that I include him.
There we go.
So that even though you're struggling, I want you to still know that I'm still going to support and make sure that whenever you do come for your child, that here she go.
Right.
Whenever you need her.
Right.
Because sometimes you just don't know what men are going through in life also.
Because they have this stigmatism. They got to be hard.
Okay.
They ain't going to tell everybody nothing.
And that's where we miss them. Yep. And why our men are so hurt and destroyed because they don't have that comfort and knowing that it's okay to make mistakes and it's okay to cry and it's okay to express yourself and not be judged.
Come on.
Woo, come on, somebody. Come on, let's take me to church.
We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. And see, even though the fatherless child episode was later on, this goes with the fatherless child.
Yes.
I am that kid that was crying to me the other day because they opened up and seen Angel. A 9-year-old tell me he didn't know his daddy. raised his hand and cried to me in the class. I had one of the coworkers come get him, like, come get this baby. Console this baby. Please come down here and get him. I consoled him, I consoled him, and then another student consoled him. And I told these, and I'm teaching these 8 and 9-year-olds, listen, y'all would have never knew that. Everybody's going through something. Stop beating people up. Stop bullying people. Stop being disrespectful. Stop making these rude comments. Stop judging everybody because you have the lack of experience. Get the experience. If you hear something about something, get the experience. Gain that. Ask for it. If I'm doing this and that, and you see it and you be like, dang, everybody do that. Hey, man, people do that out here. We do that. Welcome to the norm.
That's it.
You have not been subjected to the norm. Get out of that box, sweetheart. Mm-hmm. And you teach these kids that, and it's like this boy just start crying. But my question is the fact that he's a fatherless child normalized in his household? Is it talked about? Is anybody saying, hey, how are you doing? Do you feel like you need a male figure? You need some, I know that your father's not here. I understand that, but I'm going to do the best I can to try to get somebody to step in so I can teach you how to become a man. A young man first. And then as you become a young man, you will learn to become a man. Is anybody talking about that? Or is somebody working too much? They got to do the laundry. They got to wash the clothes. They got to cook. There's no time.
But that come back to that single parenting thing.
That's why
I'm not even going to say single mom or single dad. Single parenting.
It's called the single parent.
Because you still got to pay the bills. You still got to make sure that meal on the table. You still got to help with homework. You still got to wash clothes. It's so much that come with single parenting. I'm telling you, it's a struggle.
And everybody don't have an Anton, a Determined Marie, a Corey mentality, a Dante, you know what I'm saying, Atlanta, Angel. Everybody don't have that. But we have that mentality because we went through it.
That's it.
Corey had a single parent. Anton just said he was a single parent. Determined Marie told us she was had a single parent. Mm-hmm. You was kind of single parent.
Mm-hmm. Let me chime
Come on,
in
single.
on it. Okay,
I
grew up with both parents, but I lost my father at 14.
Uh-huh. Come on.
And then I lost my mother at 31. So to say weddings, I didn't walk down with nobody. I walked down with pictures.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
Best friends.
Come on.
Sisters.
Come on.
It different.
Mm-hmm.
It's real. It's real.
Come on. Listen, it is so real, and I just really want people to even teach, just kind of pay attention sometimes. I know, and it's hard for teachers. When I say I'm getting the inside look of teachers, there's such a respect that I have for them, the ones that actually really care, the ones who actually put that time in, and who really try with these kids. And it's so unfortunate that you have these parents out here who really don't give a damn.
Correct.
And they want these teachers to raise their kids and be responsible. Like, nah, this your child during the day. No, sweetheart.
Until they get in trouble.
And, okay. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but then, hold on. Single parent, fatherless child, and you got grandparents raising kids.
That's it.
So what does that become? You got people
and kids raising kids.
Come on. So let's go back to teen pregnancy. And then you got grandparents raising kids. They tired. They done raised their kids. They done been here since 1941. And now they got to raise this 8-year-old in 2023 who losing his mind. Mama was a crack mama. Crack baby. Mama don't care. Daddy don't care. Daddy ain't there. He in jail. He trying to be on the block. Or something. They ain't getting along. They just got a divorce. So if I ain't gonna be with you now, man, I ain't gonna do nothing, man. I ain't got it right now. I ain't got it, but you out of the club on a Saturday.
That's it.
These are all, and I say this not to down nobody, but I say it because it's reality. It's what's going on out here right now. But hey, who am I? Go ahead, talk to me, Determined.
Well, I don't know about anyone else, but me and Angel are blood cousins, and we were raised in a household. My grandmother had 14 children, and her and my grandfather were married and together, living in the household through the struggles, the conflict, or whatever. I just think it's the morals and the times have changed. People's outlook on life. They don't want to grow up and be responsible adults. I don't know who else on this line, but I know back in the 50s and 60s and 70s, most of the grandparents were still two parents in the household. And that's why I can't understand why it was so many generations after that where the parents did not step up and want to co-parent. Mm-hmm. There's no reason for two parents not to be able to co-parent and raise their children together unless one of them has to be absent and, without, they have to be absent and it's out of their control. My oldest daughter she's 30 years old, and her dad is 47 years old, and right now to this day he does not know who his father is. His mom got upset and she refused to ever give him the identity of his biological dad. And it has tormented him for the most part of his life, and as a result, he became an absent parent in his children's life. So it's like a generational curse.
Yep.
That's what it becomes.
If I ain't got no
and
it's normalize that fact that I don't have a father, so hell, it's okay, you know what I'm saying?
Because that's what life looks like.
That's what
that's what happened to me.
Let me show you how I went through it. And people start thinking like that. Well, that's what I went through. I did it. See how I made it. I never say none stuff like that. I want you to have. I know what it felt like not to have my daddy there. I know what it felt like not to have my daddy at my 1-year anniversary of the Angels Online. Mm-hmm. Where you at, clown? Mm-hmm. But I'm a boy.
But it's so many relatives and other people in society that step up and that become role models to our children. And I just want to commend all of them for that, because it takes a village to raise a child. So, children out here have been blessed with aunts and uncles. Look at you, Angel. You play a major part of your nieces and nephews' life, and I know your sister and your brother are grateful for that. So, like, my perspective on it is just that people need to change their morals and get some understanding on what's really important. And once they get that in their head and their hearts, maybe things will change. And selfishness comes in and plays a big part too, while there are so many fatherless children, mothers who walk away, because it's more so about.
Say that again. What we missed, Peaches? It's more so about.
I said it's more about being selfish than selfless. The reason why there's so many single parents out here, so many fatherless children, motherless children, for whatever reason, parents they want to be vengeful, they want to have vendettas. It don't work out like you all. I'm just piggybacking off of that. It's more of selfishness, not thinking about the need of the children and more of their needs. The reason why society is the way it is. It's just a lot of selfishness.
And to piggyback off that, I'm going to go back when Corey said that teen pregnancy, you got adults out here who have teen mindsets. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And, that's what Peaches was just, determined Marie was just talking about. It's like, grow up. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ain't no reason y'all can't co-parent. Correct. Get it together. It's not about you. It's about these kids. When that school call, they should be calling you, and they should be calling that father. If y'all got to go up there together, y'all work together like a tag team. That's it. For this child. That's what it need to look like. It need tag team back again. That's okay. I almost was ready to drop it like it's hot. Because I was excited.
I was ready.
Oh, you was ready?
I was ready.
Elena was ready.
I was ready.
So, y'all got to tag team with these babies and let these kids know, no, my mama, my daddy. Kids are proud to say my mama and my daddy. Mm-hmm. Yes. They are so proud to say that. If you don't understand that, I look at their face. No, my mama, no, I go with my daddy. No, my daddy come to get me. There's a say-so everywhere. I see daddies picking up kids, dropping off kids. Mama's coming. Now my mama coming today. Oh, we got to take the bus today. I love it. Yep. Mm-hmm. I love it. But look, let's go. Let's keep it pushing. Bullying. Y'all, bullying. It has led to so much out here. This topic it's needed, but it's just so disgusting.
Can we tie bullying, mental health, and the current events all together?
That's what we're going to do. Dante, do it. Go ahead. Start it up.
No,
we're going to do that. We're going to tie these topics together, okay? So bullying. Okay, let's give some examples. Post episode, anybody see examples of bullying? And it comes in all ways. Mm-hmm. Corey, do you see examples of bullying at work? Elena
I just saw it today. Okay. Walking out of my door, a man is beating down this girl's door trying to get in. I mean, bust the windows out, the screen, pushing the door open. I'm sure her head's probably busted at this point, but it's real. Like, I was just in disbelief. I wanted to call the police, but as I picked up that phone, they was already pulling up. That means somebody else saw what I was seeing. Mm-hmm.
Bystander effect.
That's it.
Tony, high school student. Talk to us about it. Let us know.
It's worse in high school for bullying. It
It's
gets
worse?
too far.
Talking to
If
that mic.
If it's in school bullying, it will get stopped. But if it's outside of school, it won't. Because either they know where you stay or where you're gonna be or who the people you hang out with. Is all around not a good environment because either the bullying ends up getting to a point of them wanting to being suicidal or to them even taking other people's life
Come on.
from it.
Come on.
Like just recently at the high school I'm attending at, on Halloween, there was a student who went to the school. He's 18 now. He passed away on Halloween due to a setup from a female. And it was occurring drama between 4 other people. That's also part of the bullying. It's like you gotta involve other people to do this to a person that has nothing to be involved with. And just all around messed up.
Wow. Did you know that individual?
I seen him one time, but that's about it.
Got you. Didn't really know him like that. But everybody talks about the bullying. Everybody talks about it, right? It's funny because Dr. Carl said in the bullying episode, actually, he stated that all the kids know what's going on. They know who's being bullied, you know. But sometimes teachers and people don't find out, so the media puts it out there till there's a mass situation. He said that in the episode, you know. Said it in the episode. And unfortunately,
It manifested.
it manifested, literally. At, you know, Central Visual Performing Arts. Elena is an alumni of that school. Tony's got friends that go there. I had students that go there. Dr. Carl has people that went there.
I taught there.
He taught there.
I taught there.
You know, so it affected everybody with that. You know what I'm saying? It affected everybody somehow. But afterwards, you know, it always comes out afterwards, you know. Like, oh, this person was...
And then everybody's always surprised.
Oh, my God.
How?
They're surprised. You know, the young man, and I don't want to give this too much energy, right? But the young man was very descriptive in the stuff that he was experiencing. And even before his 4 years of his high school, you know, he experienced in middle school. One of his middle school teachers wrote an op-ed in the Post-Dispatch describing the situations that he had went through. So I'm like, okay. And then she, you know, did the whole, you know, I wonder if I could have done anything, you know. And I'm like, young lady, you let him get 4 years away from you. You let him get 4 years away from you. And then some of the other, like, you know, I know a young man who teaches there, and he was like, yeah, we knew. But they just assumed that it would, you know, it was resolved and it wasn't an issue anymore because the young man graduated. No, I look at it, and this is probably not the most politically correct thing to say, but I look at it from the victim's perspective and the perpetrator's perspective. You have to understand. I can imagine, and I deal with patients who lives in that reality. This young man had to go to school every day for 4 years, experiencing torment. Nobody want to talk about that. They want to always talk about the end result, how, you know, the 2 people lost their lives. No, this young man lived in hell for 4 years. He clearly outlined that in his letter. Nobody wants to talk about that. You know, the system, both the school system and the health system failed this young man. And the 2 people that passed away were the victims of that. Right? I mean, I'm not sympathizing with the young man. Because, you know, at some point when you get old enough, when you get old enough, you have to accept what's wrong and then seek help yourself. He was grown enough. He was an adult. He could have sought help himself. But, you know, and all the stuff that his parents did to try to get him assistance or all these other things. But the system failed the young man. And the 2 people who lost their lives were victims of the system failing him.
But here's something else. Determined Marie.
Yes.
You knew that young man from daycare, didn't you?
Yes, I was his brother's teacher in the green room. We call the room by colors. He had a younger brother. He had an older sister, and he may have been the oldest, but yes, I did know him. I was his pre-K teacher. And I just wanted to say that watching him as a child, he was always withdrawn, always off to himself.
Mm-hmm.
And his mother, you know, she was a single parent that struggled to take care of her 3 children by herself. And I believe that bullying comes from lack of sometimes love, fulfillment, attention. And Orlando may have grown up withdrawn because his mother worked a lot, and they had to go to different relatives' houses. You know, sometimes while their mom worked, I don't really know intimately about all of that, but I know she was a hard-working mother. And he pretty much, when I seen his picture on the news, that's pretty much how he looked as a child.
Yep.
So for a child to look the same as they did when they grew up, I mean, for him to look the same as an adult as he did as a child with that same look of loneliness, there was something wrong. There was a fulfillment that he was not getting, a need that he felt he had not been fulfilled for him.
Correct. I mean,
and I do believe growing up, he may have been bullied.
Yep. In the letter he wrote, he was saying and his mom was very, very, very nice. I mean, I seen her when I went up.
I can't hear who's speaking.
No, I said I met his mom briefly. I spoke to her. I gave her a hug when I went up to VAP to do counseling with the teachers. But he said in his letter he didn't have any family. Now, I mean, obviously, Peaches just described what she remembers from his family. So he had siblings and he had a parent, but the feeling, like she said, of loneliness to where he felt as though he didn't have a family. I mean, and Angel, you and I both know this because we were part of the same family, so to speak. I mean, we have our own stuff and our family just don't show up, right? So let's
talk about it.
That promotes loneliness. I mean, even though there's people in the universe to fill those spaces,
right?
You know, it's how it's perceived. He perceived himself to be very lonely, you know.
And for him to say that he did not have family, and in fact he did, but sometimes you can, as they say, you could be in a room full of people and feel that void of loneliness. And what the Angels Online, I believe, helps people do is to find that inner love. As he grew older, I believe he neglected himself to find that within himself, and that's why he felt so alone and so abandoned, because Orlando, in fact, did have many people that loved him. But we may disregard our family members and our friends as they walk around feeling empty. That's why it's important for us to talk to people as we see that look on their face and try to get inside of them to see what's going on, to try to get them some help before it's too late. Because his family was trying to get him therapy and everything. Just sometimes that void never gets filled. And I believe bullying has an everlasting effect, not just on children, but adults, because there's a lot of adults that, I don't know if you are familiar with the term gaslighting. A lot of adults do gaslighting to other adults to get their way. Children just don't deal with bullying, adults do as well.
Come on. And you know what? He did what he did, caused a mass situation, and unfortunately, our condolences go out to Alexandria Bell and Gene Kuska, those two that were killed during that incident, and then the several kids that had to recover from that incident, and all the youth that are going through trauma, and the teachers and the police officers and everybody that had to deal with it. Myself, who had to listen to kids crying over the phone while they was going to safety, kids telling me they jumping out the window. Like, I mean, when I say, unfortunately, he decided to take victims with him. But Spirit Butler, who went through 3 years of bullying and could no longer endure it, committed suicide before she started freshman year of high school, just recently.
Because she was so scared to get there.
Correct. And we dedicated that episode to her. That's episode 5 of the Angel Online. Ladies and gentlemen, Elena has to get out of here, but Elena has to give us a good people before she departs.
Y'all ready? Good people. That's what I'm
talking about. You got to get the people what they want. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for being a part of the show.
having me.
You will be back season 3. You will be back. We will be discussing it, and I will reach out to you for that. Now, we're going to continue on with that, the mental part of all that. the mental effects of all of that for the kids. And let's talk about it, Dr. Carl. Let's talk about that.
Well, I mean, like Pete just said, I mean, there's lasting effects. You don't recover from bullying. It's not like losing weight where you lose it and then it's gone for some amount of time. People
remember that?
No, for sure.
It's
People
trauma.
who bullies grow up to be adults who bully, and victims of bullying grow up to be victims of bullying as adults. Like you see, like gaslighting, like you said, is very real. People who exert toxic masculinity as an adult, who become overtly aggressive. I mean, that's the next step. I mean, those people don't stop being bullies when they turn 18. It's a mindset that they have. I mean, and it could be easily described as a mental illness. Somebody who would have the desire to
coerce people, hurt people.
Yeah, there's something wrong. There's definitely something wrong with that.
Control over people and what they're
but
doing.
you have to find the root of those things, and people don't just be bullies when they walk out the door of their homes.
Root cause analysis.
Correct.
Something's behind that.
Yeah, 100%.
Something is behind that, and the mental is so affected when it occurs to someone, because if you remember at the age of 30, I was bullied back then. It affected you.
Correct.
It affected you. You're not just gonna get away with it. I remember how I was, and I remember, I did these things because I didn't want to be bullied or I didn't want to be mistreated.
Yep.
You do certain things because you get tired of it, and if there's no one there to talk to you about that, you're going to try to figure out your own way to fit in.
Yeah.
You're going to try to figure out your own way to get through these issues. And if they're not addressed and you're not able to openly talk about it, it will affect your everyday living and your relationships with people around you. So, the Central Visual Performing Arts, Tony, you heard about that. How did that make you feel when you saw that happen? I want to hear that.
Okay, so
Mike, talking to your mic, baby. Go ahead and let us know.
Okay, so I'll give a little detail into I was in school that day when it happened, and it's probably like a 7-minute drive from the school, from CPV Central.
Yeah.
My school went 20 minutes into lockdown right after it happened.
Everybody did, yeah.
And from what we were hearing, we weren't supposed to be told what was going on, but I had a teacher that pulled me and a couple other people out due to us goofing off. And they were like, it's a serious situation going on, that there is a school shooting going on. And once we found out what was the school, it was just like, oh, I don't want to come to school tomorrow either. It was about 9, I don't remember the exact.
9:45,
yes. After it stopped. My school was fully surrounded by cops. And pretty much almost every school that I know of was surrounded by cops. But most of the cops were in Central. Due to of how big the building is and what floor he was on. He was on the 3rd floor. After the school shooting, I went to go check up on someone. You know who. She sprained her leg jumping out the. I
think she jumped out the window and she sprained her leg.
Yeah.
Her foot or something like that. Yep.
When I was like thinking, I'm like, that's really wrong. And I'm just like, how does that even happen? How does he get through security? And then just like, I don't think they gave any information on how he got it there. But it was just like, that's really wrong. You could have got help. I was worried for my friends there.
Yep.
I was even worried about my own life because it's not far. It's not a far. You could just walk up to the school.
Yeah.
Why would you have to do that? You took 2 people's lives for no reason, and you injured other kids. And now, from what I'm hearing, those kids who went to the school don't even want to attend the school anymore.
All the kids we know.
I heard that the school is open, but they're doing virtual.
Correct.
It's a messed up because they're gonna be falling back due to not being experienced in virtual. I don't think nobody likes it. It's really wrong.
Thank you for your input about it. Thank you. And yes, we have a lot of kids that we know that went there. It was I was crying. I was in, I was worried about the exact same kids that he's talking about that were injured, that was, and to listen to the panic over the phone and be right there, on FaceTime watching people run and do all that. I'm like, where are all my kids at? I'm waiting for kids to call me. I'm waiting on phone calls. I'm waiting for text messages. I'm Miss Ramsey, Miss Ramsey, Miss Ramsey. I'm like, it's chaos. And so it's a different ball game when you're on the other end and it's actually like your kids. You know what I mean? Like, Tony is my son. Like, if he would have, what I'm saying? Like, he's got friends there. You don't want to get that call. And so it's so sad that those two individuals lost their lives. And, my kids telling me, oh, I jumped out the window. I did this. I did that. It's like, at that point in time, you don't care about the color of nobody's skin, nobody's race, nationality, ethnicity, know how much they weigh, what they look like. You don't care about none of that, sexuality. All these things that the world focus on, literally in that instant was able to go out the window. And if they don't realize that, listen, the little things y'all worried about can go just like that. But because it takes so much for y'all to leave that, it's sad. It takes for people to lose their lives. It takes for lives to be on the line. It takes for just mass casualty, just a whole shit show to happen for you to open up your mind, broaden your horizons, and look at the bigger picture in society. And just life circumstances, again, we focus on the Angels Online to let you know life circumstances hit everybody. Let's talk about it. You are not alone in what you're going through. There are 30 million Dante, 30 million Tonys, 30 million Angels, Antons, Corey's, Determined Marie, Atlantis. There's so many of us out here. And until we normalize that conversation, a lot of people will hopefully be reluctant to even open up about anything because they won't talk about it. If you tell me you don't like talking about pork chops or whatever, I'm probably not going to talk about pork chops around you.
Correct. Because
I don't want you to just down me, doubt me, and, talk bad about me. If you tell me you don't, I can't stand LGBTQ, I'm like, whoa. All right, well, we're just not going to talk about that because that's a soft spot for Tim, Tom, Sarah, Rhonda, Joe, and everybody else. Like, we're not going to do that because then we'll create an argument because you're clearly not open to everything else that's going on.
Correct.
So, I mean, it's so big. Life circumstances hit everybody. Anton, you want to chime in on how did it affect you, or Determined Marie, did it affect you, and maybe how it affected you if you worry about your kids going to school?
Yeah, it was definitely a direct effect to me. I don't know if you noticed now, but my oldest sons, all three of my sons are homeschooled, and I actually was recently pushing to go and get them into school. Me and their mother was having a conversation, and even in that, once I saw these different school shootings and stuff like that, it made me take a step back on even wanting that. Even my daughter's kindergarten, her elementary school, I get a phone call one day saying that there's two suspicious people and they got police on scenes and they believe there's a shooting threat. I'm like, elementary school? So I'm rushing to get to the school because I'm damn sure not going to let anything happen to my child. So I'm like, that energy alone is not something that feels. And being a father, being a man, being a human, I don't want anybody that will feel that. So if it comes down to just being able to understand children better, to prevent the bullying, to put in better situational awareness, whatever it takes, I am an advocate. I am 100% for it. I think we need to do something, definitely.
That's what I'm talking about. Determined Marie, what about you? Or Corey, either one of you want to chime in on this school shooting that occurred at all? And you know what? I'm going to further say that. Go ahead, Determined Marie.
I didn't hear the question. Did you repeat the question?
No, I said, did you want to chime in on that school shooting? Did it affect you? I know you have grandchildren. When you heard about the situation at Central Visual Performing Arts.
Well, like Anton was saying, like about, I don't know if it was like 2 months ago, my grandchildren go to an elementary school in Illinois. I think it's Lifeside. And they sent out text messages about people, there was some people that was inside the school threatening to do something. And it's a very scary situation because it's like I said, people that's been through pain, they sometimes want to bring pain to others. And that's that selfishness again. Pain brings pain, and it also brings information. And when people are in pain and they want to harm others, they look up on how to bring about that harm. And I feel like we can't always be on the front line knowing everything that's going on, but there are signs and symbols for the conscious mind, and I think we need to pay better attention to what's going on out here as a whole, because some of these things, these school shootings could have been avoided because there were signs, like in the case with Orlando in the central, the high school on Kings Highway. His mother warned the police that he had that weapon. The weapon was confiscated from him and given to a relative, and then later on given back to him by that relative. Because there's laws that are in place that need to be changed as well. Everything coincide on and things can go hand in hand. Because if there was a law in Missouri that he was too young to even have that weapon, or what was the need for him to have that weapon, it should have been questioned. Those senseless killings at that school could have been avoided.
Correct.
Yep. And we just had, situations happen everywhere, because we just had on Sunday, November 12th, a student at University of Virginia opened fire on several students, and he killed 3 UVA players and injured some. So from what we hear, there's no motive, but we send our condolences to those kids, Devin Chandler, Lavelle Davis Jr., and Deshaun Perry. And the other kids who are injured, hopefully a speedy recovery. But this is happening. That was high school, and then it went off to college literally a month, not even a whole month later.
It's crazy.
So it's terrible, and we really just need to look at life circumstances, and we need to look at everything, how we talk to people, how we deal with people, how we make assumptions, how we handle situations. We need to reevaluate how we address a conversation. What you say might cause trauma to somebody.
Correct.
What you might say it might bring pain. It might seem normal to you, but it might bring pain to the next person. Normalize an open conversation. Dig deeper in the conversation. Talk about your feelings. And if you're not comfortable talking about your feelings to people, find people you are comfortable talking to them with.
Correct.
And if you gotta hang out, you don't know, you might meet somebody tomorrow, and that might be the person that you need to be with all the time. That might be your change for life right there.
For real.
You don't know. It don't take a year, 2 years to know if somebody's better for you than the person that you've known for 10 years.
Correct.
In a certain aspect of life. I don't care how long I've known you. If somebody enters my life and I recognize my energy is literally gravitating towards them,
It's a wrap.
it's a wrap. The hell with that. My growth, development is important.
To me first.
Their growth and development might be important. I might be a valuable asset to them. Do I call them using me? No. I want to hang around somebody that's trying to do better, that's doing better than me. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to be great. And so I think all those things are important. Treat people how you want to be treated. We got so much going on out here. Man, this is season 2 recap. Tony, do you have any lasting words for anybody before season 3? Just, you want to tell them to be ready for season 3. You're going to be back. You got anything for the youth that you want to talk about? Protect your mental, anything. You take your time. Take it. It's not a rush. And if Dr. Carl want to go first, he can.
Also, it's a rush. Got it.
Corey can go first.
No, I would just say, make sure we're using kind words to people, right? We never know what people are going through.
Come on.
Your word might be the straw. They break the camel's back on turn that person down and getting them to do something viral, right? Protect your mental space, first, right? Surround yourself with people that is an addition and not a subtraction.
Come on.
In
addition and not. Come. Hold on.
You gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. You never know what I'm gonna say. You gotta keep the applause ready. No, just for real. All those things are important. As we get ready for season 3, or even if you don't catch season 3, as you go about your daily lives, you have to understand that you're the only person living in your head. So you gotta make sure that you create that safe space for yourself to live in, right?
Boom. Anton, anything for the people.
As you know, everything we do here is for the children. and giving them a voice. I would speak to the world and say, take the time to not only listen, but to understand what that child needs. I've learned as I mature and develop different relationships with different people, everybody needs to be loved differently. Everybody needs to be cared for differently. And you have to be willing to adapt and adjust and change. Stop saying like, I love you as hard or I love you the best that I can. No, because real love comes from taking the time to understand what that person needs and giving it to them,
Come on.
especially when it comes to children. So take the time, look at these children, and don't try to love them the way that your parents loved you. Don't try to love them the way you wish you could have been loved, but learn each and every child. Me personally, having multiple children, as I mature, I look at them each and every day. There are 4 different people. I can't love all of them the same way. I can't give them the same energy. I can't treat them the same way. I can't even talk to them the same way. And I think once we start really truly looking at everyone as individuals and taking the time and energy to truly love them as individuals and as they need to be loved, then we'll see the true healing in our culture.
Yeah.
And so,
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you. Corey. Do you have any words
Dang
for the
good.
people?
I got to go after that. Oh my goodness, I got to go after that.
You know what? Because your voice
Hey.
matters, and whatever you say, you are someone's angel, baby.
Look, I say this to the people out there who need a little motivation. I can't do it for you, but I can tell you it's somebody out there that want to see you become the best version of you, that want to see you accomplish all the goals that you do have, that you think is too far away, bro. Don't think that today's day and age, you got to know, like, it's gonna be hard. We live in a world right now. It's it's a different time, but anybody can do anything. Like, as far as you getting through something, just don't take the easy way out. Like I tell the people I talk to every single day, every single morning, like everybody's going through something, everybody's dealing with something. Bro, don't look for an out. You gotta push through it. You gotta dig deep. It's in you. It's in you. It's in every single person. Whatever you going through in life, it's in every single person. Honestly feel like deep down in my soul, you're all you need to start the step. Everybody needs somebody else, but to start the step, you're all you need.
Very good.
Come on.
Very good.
Wonderful. Determined Marie. You got anything for these people on season 2 recap, my love?
Yes, it was good to hear everybody's opinions, everybody's insight. But my word for today is compassion. You have to have compassion for people.
Come on.
And that comes with having effective communication. A lot of people say, I want to be heard, but start listening to people.
Come on.
Be an effective listener, just like you are a speaker. There's power in the tongue, and you have to listen to people. This way, you'll know how to interact with each and every person that you cross paths with. Compassion. Have understanding for what they are going through, who they are, what they represent. Have respect for them in their space. And love. You can love from a distance. Even if you calling or text and see how your family members are doing, your friends are doing, or just associates, that can help a person go a long way. Like, I'm always being blamed for being so distant. But if I call you and you don't answer, I'm going to try to send a text. I'm trying to get better at showing people that I love them, even though I'm far away, because that helps. People need to know that they're thought about, they're loved, they're respected, and that they're being heard. That's what Angels Online is all about.
That's it.
Voices unheard.
That's it.
That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you.
good.
Tony, you have anything?
Check on your loved ones.
Talk to the mic, man. Talk to the mic.
Check on your loved ones. That's all I gotta say. But I'm for sure gonna be back on here.
There it is. My word is everything that everybody else said. It's their voice. I'm just here to listen. I'm just here to give the platform. I say a lot to the people all the time. You know what I'm here for. You can go to the website at theangelsonline.org. You can message me if you want to talk to any of these people at info@theangelsonline.org. I want you all to love one another, to be great. Love on people. Tell them you love them. It's okay to love and kiss on people. I'll tell you that much right now. People love affection. Show them that you love them. Show them that you care. I can show you better than I can tell you, baby. Life is short, and we just living a dream one day at a time, keeping it magical. And y'all know I'm going to have everybody. Everybody got to say that good people, good people. So we going to start with Corey. Corey, come on. Don't take all day.
Good people, good people.
Hey, give it to me one more time, baby. One more time, my love.
Hey, good people, good people.
Anton, can you please get my babies out here listening to something, please?
Good people, good people.
Okay, come on. Determined Marie, can you give my adults and my youth something, please?
Good people, good people.
Tony, come on, man. Give me something, man.
Good people, good people.
Okay. And then we got Dr. Carr. Come on, sir. Here he come, y'all. Lord Jesus. I'm going to pray about it.
Good people, good people.
We have a good time with that, ladies and gentlemen. This is the recap of the Angels Online. I am Angel of the Angels Online, CEO and founder. If you want to reach out to me, info@theangelsonline.org. Instagram and Facebook at The Angels Online. YouTube at The Angels Online LLC. And y'all know what I'm going to leave you with, baby. Good people, good people. You got to give the people what they want. Yes. Yes.